Today, we're diving deep into Japanese backlinks. It's a topic that's getting a lot of attention lately, especially as more businesses eye the Japanese market.
Absolutely. Japanese SEO can feel like a whole different world. Backlinks play a huge role, but many people still don't get how they influence rankings in Japan.
Right? And I think one common misconception is that Japanese backlinks work the same as in Western SEO. But actually, the dynamics can be quite different.
Exactly. For instance, just translating your site and hoping Japanese sites will link to you is wishful thinking. You need a real localization strategy for both content and link building.
That's a good point. So, what do you think are the biggest mistakes people make when trying to build Japanese backlinks?
I'd say the first mistake is ignoring the context. Japanese websites value relevance and local authority. Random links from non-related sites don't move the needle.
Yeah, and I've noticed some people try to buy bulk backlinks from low-quality Japanese directories. But search engines are smarter than that now.
Oh, totally. Google Japan's algorithms have really evolved. They can spot manipulative link schemes easily. It's like trying to sneak past airport security with a suitcase full of fireworks.
That's a pretty vivid image. So if bulk buying is out, what are some ethical ways to earn Japanese backlinks?
Guest posting on reputable Japanese blogs is a good start, but you need content that actually fits their audience, not just a translated press release.
I think that's often overlooked. Japanese audiences tend to value depth and originality. A superficial post probably won't get much traction.
True. I've seen cases where companies try to pitch the same guest post to 20 sites. Japanese editors can tell when something's generic.
There's also the cultural angle. Building relationships is even more important in Japan, right?
Definitely. Cold outreach rarely works. You have to spend time engaging. Maybe even meet in person if you can. It's about trust, not just transactions.
That's so different from the spray and pray approach you sometimes see elsewhere.
For sure. And let's not forget the language barrier. Even subtle nuances in Japanese can make or break your pitch.
So would you recommend hiring native writers to craft outreach emails and content?
Absolutely. A native touch not only makes your message clear, but also shows respect for local customs. It's like bringing a small gift when you visit someone's house.
I like that analogy. So, once you've built those relationships, what kind of content tends to get the most backlinks in Japan?
Data-driven content does well. Japanese audiences appreciate detailed research, case studies, or unique insights about trends.
That aligns with what I've seen. And sometimes infographics or visual content seem popular too, especially if they're tailored to local interests.
Yes, but visuals should be designed with Japanese aesthetics in mind. Overly flashy graphics might not resonate.
It's easy to overlook those cultural preferences if you're used to Western design norms.
Exactly. Another thing people miss is participating in Japanese online communities like forums or Q&A sites. These can be great for building organic backlinks.
That's interesting. Do you have any examples of forums that are popular for link building in Japan?
Sites like Yahoo, Chibukuro, or 2channel are big, but you have to contribute genuinely. Spammy posts will get deleted quickly.
So it's more about being a helpful member, not just dropping links everywhere.
Precisely. If you answer questions thoughtfully, people might reference your site naturally.
Let's talk about metrics. Are there specific tools for tracking Japanese backlinks?
Most global tools like Ahrefs or SEMrush cover Japanese sites, but you might also want to use local tools like GRC or Rank Tracker Japan for deeper insights.
That's good to know. And what about anchor text? Is there anything special to consider in Japanese SEO?
Yes. Using natural context-rich anchor text is crucial. Over-optimized anchors in Japanese can look very suspicious to search engines.
So instead of stuffing keywords, it's better to use anchors that blend into the sentence?
Exactly. Sometimes even branded or generic anchors work better, especially if they match the topic.
What about the role of social signals in Japanese link building? Are they as important as in the West?
Social signals do matter, but platforms like Twitter and Line are more influential in Japan than Facebook or Instagram.
That's a great point. Brands focusing only on global platforms might be missing out.
And don't forget Japanese blogging platforms like Amoeba or Hatena. They have loyal user bases and can be powerful sources of backlinks.
So, would you recommend starting a blog on those platforms? Or just networking with existing bloggers?
Both approaches work. If you can collaborate with influential bloggers, that's ideal, but maintaining your own profile can help too.
How about press releases? Do they help with Japanese backlinks?
They can, but only if distributed through trusted local channels. Generic English language releases rarely get picked up by Japanese media.
I guess that comes back to localization. You can't just translate and hope for the best.
Right. It's about adapting your message to local interests and media expectations.
Speaking of adaptation, are there any legal or ethical pitfalls to avoid in Japanese backlink building?
Definitely avoid any paid link schemes. The Japanese web is monitored closely, and penalties can be severe.
And I imagine privacy and copyright rules are strict as well?
Yes, always respect content rights, and be careful not to scrape or copy protected material.
That's an important reminder. Let's shift to the topic of link velocity. Is it risky to build too many backlinks too quickly in Japan?
Absolutely. Sudden spikes can trigger red flags. It's better to build links gradually, focusing on quality over quantity.
So, patience is key. Not the most exciting advice, but probably the most effective.
It's like planting a bonsai tree. It takes time, care, and a lot of attention to detail.
Nice metaphor. So, what role does domain age play in Japanese backlink strategies?
Older domains tend to have more trust, but new sites can still compete if their link profile is clean and relevant.
That's encouraging for newcomers. Are there any industries in Japan where backlinks are especially competitive?
Finance, real estate, and travel are particularly tough. Lots of competition, and the bar for quality is really high.
I've heard that some niches even have their own private link networks. Is that true?
Yes, but those are risky. Google's penalties can wipe out your rankings overnight.
So, it's better to focus on sustainable, white hat strategies.
For sure. Building real relationships and offering value beats shortcuts every time.
Let's talk a bit about multilingual backlinks. If a site has both English and Japanese content, does that help?
It can, but only if the Japanese content is original and tailored for the audience. Duplicate or poorly translated pages can hurt more than help.
So, investing in quality translation is non-negotiable.
Exactly. And working with native editors makes a big difference.
What about EAT, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness? Does Google Japan put as much emphasis on it as elsewhere?
Yes, and maybe even more. Japanese users are very cautious about sources. Author bio's credentials and trust signals matter a lot.
That's a good tip. Are there any success stories you've seen where a smart backlink strategy made a huge difference?
Sure. I know a travel site that partnered with local tourism boards to create unique guides. They earned backlinks from government sites and saw rankings skyrocket.
That's impressive. Partnerships can really open doors.
And it's not just big brands. Even small businesses can collaborate with local influencers or charities to gain quality links.
I love that. Sometimes it's about thinking outside the box, not just following templates.
Exactly. Creativity goes a long way, especially in a market as nuanced as Japan.
Before we wrap up, what's one common myth about Japanese backlinks you'd like to debunk?
The idea that quantity trumps quality. In Japan, one good link from a respected site can outweigh dozens of mediocre ones.
That's a great note to end on. Japanese backlink building is all about patience, authenticity, and understanding the culture.
Absolutely. And if you approach it with respect and strategy, the results can be pretty amazing.
So, for anyone listening, what's the next step they should take if they want to start building Japanese backlinks?
Start by researching your niche, connect with local communities, and always put value and relevance first.
Fantastic advice. Thanks for sharing such practical insights today.
My pleasure. Japanese backlinks might seem mysterious, but with the right approach, they're totally achievable.
And maybe a little bit of luck on the side.
That never hurts. Good luck to everyone out there exploring the Japanese digital landscape.
Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep learning and keep building those meaningful connections.